Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another riveting, exciting episode of the TMG show. I'm here with the one and only comedy Southern Belle. You wouldn't even say that about yourself. Wait, do you want to throw the cans on?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Fine.
Just because...
Final edit my pimples out?
Can I final edit your pimples out?
Them look like,
tall task for the editor. It looks like what?
Aren't we in space?
Yeah, we are in space.
Could you make my pimples look like craters on the moon?
Well, if you just face me, you'll never see them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I don't even know what you're talking about because Katherine doesn't have any pimples.
No, she's perfect.
She's perfect. Yeah. Comedy Southern Belle, Katherine Blanford. Would you say that by yourself? I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not very Southern. Like, I grew up in the city, but I have a lot of cousins that were from farmland.
Yeah.
And then I went to school at South Carolina.
Yeah.
And so I was around a bunch of, that was like a new kind of Southern for me. That was like Southern elite, like old money, old Southern money kind of people.
Yeah.
And then I migrated to Atlanta. I was there for a decade. And that's a different South.
Yeah.
That's hip hop South.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've
hip hop South.
Yeah. We the boys.
That's how people from Louisville describe black people.
ATLians. So
Oh my God, dude. Is that how your grandpappy refers to people of color? That's hip hop South.
he goes, yeah. He goes, there's some people that some people that wear their overalls with two bibs and one with one bib off.
Right.
Kind of thing.
This is my impression of Southern elite. Oh, so you do comedy. That's nice.
Well, that's sweet. Yes. Okay.
I feel that energy in Charleston.
Yes. Oh my God, you know what? We have got to bring you for social night at the country club. We would love that.
You are so funny. I've always thought you were the funniest cousin.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's such a hoot. I don't really like when you talk about all that dirty stuff, though. You know, that makes us a little uncomfortable. But we think it's so funny when you talk about being on a boat with your girlfriends. God, we did that one time. We just cut up in Myrtle Beach. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, nice.
I do tend to spill a little bit of family secrets, but...
Do they get mad about that?
No, I thought they would.
Do you have a big family?
Well, my dad's one of 10, so I have over
nice.
60 cousins on that side.
Wow. That's how they used to fuck in the old world.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, like back in the day, that you could have as many kids as you wanted because it wasn't expensive and they took care of each other. Mm-hmm. Like my dad.
That's the kid meta. That's
yes.
Yeah.
Like. My dad's childhood home was 3 bedrooms. Mm-hmm. So the parents were in one, the boys were in one, and the girls were in one.
Wow.
And like as they had brought in a new baby, there was like an older kid moving out. Isn't that insane?
I'm just chuckling at them running basically like 2 boarding schools in their home.
2? What do you mean boarding schools? They were labor.
Yeah,
they had like
true. Yeah. What am I talking about? Yeah.
They had like cows do one of the saddest stories. My Uncle Paul told me they had a bunch of cattle. And he was like, we had a sick calf one time. Yeah. And so I raised it. And we would go out there and play with it. And we loved it so much. And it was like our little pet. And then one day my grandpa was going to market. And it couldn't get the cow to come out of the stall. So it had my Uncle Paul come out to like coax it out to play with it. And it trusted my Uncle Paul. And then they followed him to the trailer. And then my grandpa closed the door and drove off. And their pet was gone.
Wow.
Isn't that dark?
I thought he was going to pull out the old Hemi hammer
and do it right there.
I thought he was going to do it right there. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I don't think that is good meat.
Yeah,
Not that I'm aware of how it actually happens, but I think shooting it, I think that spoils a little bit. I think.
No! I was talking about the thing that awful thing that they do in the mass-produced plants where they like line it up on the forehead and it's just like a hammer that like.
Oh yeah.
The lobotomy over the top of the skin.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of those.
I thought so. I think they just do that down the street.
Okay, got it.
I think they got a neighbor for that. We all got a neighbor that does something for us.
He's the one that doesn't shower as often.
No.
I'll do it.
Yeah. He's like, y'all, come on, bring your pets down here.
We'll handle it.
Come on, we'll give you some month's supply of dinner.
That's just life.
And you know what? It really is. And I talked about that a lot in my last special because I was like, I don't eat cow or pig now. You watch one episode of a cow playing with a beach ball.
Yeah.
And you can't eat cows anymore. And then you learn about the mass.
I'm sorry, say that again. That was
what?
You watched one video of a cow playing with a beach ball?
Have you seen a video of a cow playing with a beach ball?
No, I'm always seeing dogs and like monkeys in Dubai living a better life than everybody.
Then, oh God, have you ever seen like a little monkey riding on top of a bull mastiff?
Yeah.
And you're like, God, that guy got it figured out.
Anyways, you were saying you see a calf playing with a beach ball, and then suddenly
you don't eat them anymore, but then you realize like you go to my cousin's farm where they actually have cows and stuff that they're raising for meat, and those cows have a pretty good life.
Yeah.
And you go, I'll eat that cow.
Yeah.
The sad thing is you could eat a happy cow because it had a pretty happy life.
Yeah.
But it's like the mass-produced like cows that have never seen grass that eat only corn and everything, and you're like,
yeah, and just lived in like they've just lived with their neck in a bolt and in a trough.
Yes, but in my head, I believe in reincarnated
Reincarcinagen.
Reincarcinagens.
Reincarcinagens.
Yeah, which is where everybody comes up back as a cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that, guys. Marlboro is it's a religious foundation.
Yes.
And they're just bringing us back. It's a transitionary period where you go through as the cigarette, and then you figure out if you're going to come back as Caterpillar or,
You start out as a cigarette. And I would like to think like Gigi Hadid dies and becomes a Virginia Slim.
Yeah.
It's still a sexy cigarette.
And she dies prematurely, and Zayn Malik purchases her in his old age, and then he's blowing it down, and he's like
talking to their kid.
Yeah, and he's like, wait a second.
Her stories.
Hold on, love. Hold on, baby.
This tastes like your mom's butthole.
This one reminds me of your mother in a cross way. If I could just. My God, that tastes just like her minge. Baby, would you mind turning around? Daddy wants to kiss this cigarette just a little bit.
Tastes like tuna tartare and suede.
My God, that tastes like the time of the month, doesn't it? Turn around, baby. Let me tell you something. Your mother, her minge, bar none, top of class. Let me tell you why. Most other minge, because Daddy, he was a pop star in his day. He had a lot of minge.
Have you ever heard of the X Factor?
X Factor is what we call a young woman whose minge never tastes like nickels. You could run your tongue up and down that minge, and I'm sorry, baby, to be crass, but we're British. You could run your tongue up and down that minge during that time of the month, and most other girls, it's going to taste like one of those like spoon and knife factories out there in Birmingham, but not your mother. You could run that tongue up and down during the red wedding, and oh my God, probably tastes like the first day it came out, and that's disgusting. But
Papa, I'm also smoking a cigarette. I'm 7. Papa, what's minge? Can I have it for dinner?
Oh, Daddy can't supply you with minge until you're at least 18, but once you're there, love, you can have as much minge in the house as you like.
Really?
Oh, Daddy will show you all kinds of minge.
Yum.
You believe in reincarcinagen, though?
Reincarcinagen.
You believe in it?
I believe in it in the way that I feel like we don't know what the heck happened.
Sure.
So we might as well choose the fun one.
Yeah. Feel that.
And I like to believe that those Southern people that are like, yo, no, these plantations have been in our family for 3 years. No, and it's nothing negative, all right? No, we don't have to talk about the history, okay? What do we do on these plantations now? We have weddings. We have weddings where the flower boy...
Ryan Reynolds just did one.
...is a goat. Our flower boy is a goat, and it's beautiful, and he's got the ring, attached to his little horn, and he walks up down, and it's lovely, and the weddings are beautiful, and people of all kinds come and enjoy their weddings on our plantations. We've got, some people were pretty. I saw one guy. I said, that man is Samoan. That is not a white man. We even have some Samoans that come and enjoy our weddings on our plantations, and it's not a negative word. It just means tradition. And I'd like to think that those people come back as a cow in a stall, in a metal stall,
and they get put down. Yeah, they go back in the metal.
Yeah, I think. And by the way, I went to college with a lot of those people.
Yeah,
I remember I grew up in
Kentucky. Deep South elite.
Deep South elite. When we turn 16, baby's first Tahoe.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a Tahoe.
Yeah.
And everybody gets a Tahoe, and then you gotta grow up with your yellow lab. Every boy needs a yellow lab for
Every
hunting.
boy needs a yellow lab.
And and
do you? So that's funny that you say that you grew up around. I mean, you've grown up around all types of Southern.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had some scary boys at a show from Alabama.
Yeah.
I was in Texas and they were there visiting, and that's like the most uncomfortable I've ever felt, because I made a joke about the Alamo, and one of them, the group of them was like, I've always described them as it's how Tarantino would design like a cast of guys for a film. This guy, he was in a fitted black cowboy suit. It's like it was like tailored.
What was he, the bride on the Bachelorette?
I mean, dude, and he had like a matching black hat. Like he looked like like a gay cowboy.
Yeah.
And like the suit was so perfect. He should have been in what is that movie, Evan? 4 cowboys on the cover. Val Kilmer.
Oh, Tombstone.
He looked like he should have been on the cover of Tombstone. And I made a joke about the Alamo, and he just pipes up and he goes, "Come and get it." Yeah, I was like, "Oh my."
Yeah. And like you also, by the way, they don't know like the real history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they know the history that their uncle told them.
Yeah.
In the back of a truck.
Yeah.
And that's the only history that they care to learn about.
And that uncle was there.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Also, that's so funny. Like, I feel like Alabama people don't even like that attire is like costume.
Mm-hmm.
Attire. He was like, "We're going to Texas. We're going to the motherland.
Yeah.
We got to dress right."
It felt like that. It was funny. Anyways,
it is it's scary sometimes, but most of the South is pretty rational.
Yeah.
And then you get to certain points, and you realize that they've never even heard a different point of view in their entire lives.
I think that's everywhere. I think you find that in the Midwest. It's hard. That's harder to find in a big city because you're just exposed to more. But yeah, once you start going to different pockets of America, you always get. I think that's the funniest thing about. I don't want to talk shop too much because I think it's like a dead topic. But when you start going to just like, I don't know, random pockets of America, you always get someone who got an email for the club, and then they bring and then they're just out for the. Yeah, we ain't never been to a comedy show.
I go, well, looks like the Facebook ads did well.
Yeah.
A lot of Costco in the room. A lot of folks pretty pumped to break out their Costco fleece tonight in Tulsa.
Oh, dude, yeah. Shout out to Tulsa.
Yeah, dude, most of my crowds. My first clip that popped off was a bit. I didn't even mean to do the bit. It was on Don't Tell About My Parents Being Cousins.
Yeah.
And I accidentally stumbled into the bit.
Which is awesome.
Thank you. It wasn't even the plan. I just stumbled into it because I made a reference about Kroger.
Yeah.
And I was out in California, and I was like, "Oh, y'all don't have Kroger, y'all have Ralph's." I was like, "I'm from the South."
Yeah.
And I accidentally stumbled in this bit, and I did it really quick. And then they cut that up, and it like blew up. And then people would start coming to my shows thinking they're about to see like a female Jeff Foxworth.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm gay, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's up in the air. Sunday,
and then they're
I'm
going,
and they're like, yeah. Yeah, and they were like,
they're pissed.
Yeah, they were jumping out of their chairs.
They're Bible sweating.
For sure. You know, and I was like, well, that's what you get when you see a woman.
Yeah.
But it is kind of fun to do those shows and tick some people off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and see if you can get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I do tend to start talking a little country.
Yeah.
No matter what the subject matter is, I'll be like, well, maybe if I say it in a certain accent.
You start drawing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had my, I think I had my oldest crowd I've done yet. It was in Brookfield, Wisconsin. And what is that? It's like a suburb of Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's the most 50-year-olds I've ever had in the crowd.
You go, how'd you find me? Who told you?
I stopped doing that.
Why?
Because, like, what I found is a lot of them just, I think they see crowd work clips and they get inspired to go to a comedy show. And then they show up and you start doing that. And then they're like, oh, like they didn't plan for that part. Yeah. They're like... So they start seizing up a little bit. Yeah,
they're like, no, I watched this from a screen. This is vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, it's all of a sudden like their kid came back from college and started asking them questions all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
No.
Yeah. There was one guy. I did it at one show where sometimes I'll just ask it passively. I'd be like, I'll refer to an older guy as dad, and I'll go, "Hey, Dad, who brought you to the show?" And then like the son will typically lean over and be like, "Oh."
Yeah.
But then I just focus on the dad. But I did that to a dad in Brookfield, and he was like zoned out, just like holding a beer, like zoned out. And he goes, "What?" And I go, "Oh, were you just zoned out?" And he laughed. He's like, "I'm sorry." And I was like, "You've been tired for 20 years. Just keep going." He laughed. He goes, "Thank you." And he literally like turns his head back and he just continues staring forward, drinking his beer. Like he just, and his wife was like fucking crying. And then I was just like, everyone leave him alone. This is going to be 1 hour where he doesn't have to think about fucking anything. He just kept laughing and he just kept like tipping his glass. And he did that the entire show. He just stayed looking forward, just like getting hammered. And I was like, that's pretty incredible.
Look at this man sleeping with his eyes open.
Literally,
right
yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to ask the 50-somethings what they're doing here. Yeah.
I never even like call out anybody either who seems to be having a bad time anymore.
I think that's the way, just because fuck it.
Yeah, I go, you're like, then everyone's going to be watching them the rest of the show and they're going to be checking on them, and you go, we're just going to survive this hour, and if this person just needed a dark place to take a nap, then I'm happy to provide them that excuse to come in here. Usually my joke is like, look at this person just came in here for shelter, and they're wondering when the movie's going to start, and I go, soon.
That's great.
You just have to watch this woman talk for a little bit longer,
so
and then Lilo and Stitch 17 will come on,
so
and you can zone out.
That's awesome.
And that's okay. That's fine. They still bought a ticket.
Yeah. And by the way, you should go see Katherine live.
Sure.
Yeah. See, and that's why you should go see her live.
No, come see me live. This is it.
Yo, the calf at the beach ball. Yeah.
Okay. I used to because we're speaking of reincarnation, and this is so dark, but like this bit you're not gonna believe would never work, because I started talking about watching a cow play with a beach ball. And then I remember my cousins, when they had cows on their farm, they would never let the dogs chase them because the cows would then run and they'd get a little bit muscly and the meat wouldn't be super fatty.
Interesting.
And then it led me to think like, okay, if cows are playful, that's not a very good tasting cow, because that cow isn't very fatty. It's got some muscle to it. And so I started being like, well, one day, what if we have to eat each other? And I was like, and I used to do this bit. I was like, look around your office and be like, who you gonna eat first?
We got to start doing some 2-man shows, because my crowds would love this.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I used to be like, I'm not gonna eat the guy in the khakis, because I know he's got meat full of like chicken fingers and ketchup, and he goes to Sonic when no one's looking, and he's not, he's not the one that you want to stick around as part of your survival crew, but you're also looking at him like, but I also don't want to eat you first, because I know you're going to be disgusting.
You've been in the wrong place. You got to be with my brain rotted crowd. They would love this. If you opened with this, it would be like they would be spitting up the chicken fingers you're talking about Yeah, with like joy.
Because the people that come from my Facebook ads don't like this material.
No. Hey guys, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, BetterHelp. Men today face immense pressure to perform, to provide, and keep it all together. So it's no wonder that 6 million men in the U.S. suffer from depression every year, and it's often undiagnosed. It's okay to struggle. Real strength comes from opening up about what you're carrying and doing something about it, so you can be at your best for yourself and everyone in your life. If you're a man and you're feeling the weight of the world, talk to someone. A friend, a loved one, a therapist. Therapy isn't just for those who have gone through major trauma. It can be a powerful tool for self-discovery. It helps you develop healthy coping strategies, establish boundaries, and grow into the best version of yourself. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/TMG. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TMG. Hey everyone, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, HelloFresh. Summer is the season to enjoy. The last thing you want to be doing is spending more time in the kitchen, or worse, the supermarket. Make your summer more enjoyable by trying HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes it easier to fit quick, home-cooked meals into your schedule every week by curating recipes right to your door. Their new ready-made meals are heat-and-go, chef-crafted, flavorful dishes ready in just 3 minutes. Every HelloFresh meal uses high-quality ingredients, and you can choose from 60 recipes every week, delivered right to your doorstep and so flexible that you can pause or skip whenever you need. I've had my eye on the citrus garlic chicken and pepper tacos. Make your summer enjoyable and delicious by signing up for HelloFresh at HelloFresh.com/TMG10FM and get 10 free meals with a free item for life. That's HelloFresh.com/TMG10FM for 10 free meals and a free item in every box. HelloFresh.com/TMG10FM, one per box with an active subscription. Free meals are applied as a discount on the first box. New subscriber only. Varies by plan.
But do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Who do you think tastes the best? And then you have to debate on who you have to keep around if this is like a survival situation, that like who's also good.
Yeah, you're I love this, and we should definitely do a 2-man show because I think you just been in front of the wrong people.
This is going to be gross, but who, like, do you have a friend in mind?
Who I'd eat?
And you know, I don't want to make it about race.
Uh-huh.
But it could be a factor as far as taste.
Well, yeah, because I mean, racially, you know, you start talking about who eats good food.
Who eats good food.
And who's, you know, toughening up.
Yeah.
Okay, racially, let's go here.
I'm going to let you do it. I'm not doing it.
That's fine. No, you should do it.
No.
Let's go ahead and, you know, the classic, let's get a white person to rank her favorite. Today on the TMG show, we're having a white woman from the South rank which races she thinks would taste the best in an Armageddon. So simply put, what races would she want to eat the most in order?
Here's what I'm going to go white people. I would eat Irishmen first.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of potato, a lot of meat.
Okay.
I would eat
But okay, so in this situation, we're going full Armageddon, right?
Okay.
Okay, so let's say we're both in LA. Armageddon has just hit.
Okay.
All right.
I hate this.
LA's tough because everyone here is, at least depending where you're at, they're on Ozempic, they're doing coke. Yeah. They don't really eat.
Yeah.
So race, I don't think is a factor depending where you're at in LA. Depending, right? If you're in like the Hollywood world, it's a lot of people avoiding eating. So there's not much there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think every race possesses a good thickums.
I know. I literally was like, what's the best eating? But it's going to seem racist. But I was just thinking food wise, who eats K-Town. There's a lot of you're doing the Korean barbecue.
Oh, dude, I mean anyone, but see I think that is a raceless conversation.
Okay, thank God.
Cuz I think anyone crushing, copious amounts of Korean barbecue and they're going to have a little something on them.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a good place to start.
That's a good place to start.
Now, if we're going broad, like I said, I think, okay, just structurally, if we're becoming cannibals and we're looking at humans like cow, you want a thicker cow. So, little fucking cheese sticks like us.
Yeah, it's gross.
They'll probably eat us, but like not with pleasure.
No, this is like...
You know what you and I are? We're like a chew toy.
Yeah.
In the Armageddon.
Yeah, they're like, all right, guys, we need to bring a snack for our long journey, just in case. We're a power bar.
Yeah.
In between meals.
Yeah, we're not offering much. I think generally, like structurally, I think everyone who's a thickums is going to be top tier.
Yeah, for sure. And this is gonna sound bad, but like, it's probably not the best. Those people don't have great survival skills, anyways.
I mean, they're probably grade A chillers.
Yeah. Psychopaths.
That's the problem, is they've been chill.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be chill going into the Armageddon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be friends with like the psychopaths.
Yeah.
The comics who've been canceled. I'm gonna go hang out with them. And I'm gonna be,
I think, I don't think you have to go, because I think the tendency is to go extreme in Armageddon, but realistically, you want someone who's just, I say a thickums.
Yeah.
Like someone who's just like thick. I don't think because you want something that you can carry around.
Yeah.
You want to be able to dismember it quickly, and you don't want to have to store a lot. Because this is the Armageddon, we don't have power.
Right.
Sorry, I don't want to fucking be obnoxious about this, but
I know what you're saying, and I have the answer.
Okay.
Someone who lives in Los Feliz.
Yeah. There's a lot of good food over there.
Yeah.
But living on the east side.
Yeah.
East side's expensive though now.
But not
west side.
They're not west side.
So they're managing the budget a little bit.
Yeah.
So they're not going crazy.
Yeah. So that's what I would go to. You ever go to the towns when you're touring and you look around this town and you're like, this town's surviving an apocalypse.
Yeah.
This town's not even going to notice there's an apocalypse.
Yeah. That's Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been down there?
I haven't been to Australia, but it was very weird. In college, my major was sport and entertainment management, so we got to work the London Olympics in 2012, but we had an internship with the cleaning company, the company that won the cleaning bid for the Olympics.
Yeah.
And it was an Australian company, so they shipped us all out there to London. We lived in Stratford, across from the Olympic Village.
Nice.
And we lived in the back of this alley called like Sugarcane Lane, and the very front of it was an actual brothel. And you would walk past it, and then they set up this camp with like fences around it, where they just had the trailers that you see on like construction sites.
Yeah.
We would live 10 to 1 of those, and all our bosses were Australian. And our living conditions were horrid. Like you would walk down, there'd be a puddle, and then the showers wouldn't work, and it'd be like,
oh mate, it's just like FIFO.
They go, we've got a 24-hour bar though. I didn't do a good impression, but all they cared about was the 24-hour bar.
Yeah.
And they shipped over their bartenders from Australia.
Yeah.
And it was a shit show for the 4 months we worked there, and it was the drunkest, best time of my life.
Yeah.
But they were like, even the bosses were just like, I was like, I'm on Real World Road Rules.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. Like, they were always like drunk and fighting and screwing each other.
Yep.
And that was so fun.
That's Australia.
It's so fun.
We could all get nuked and they wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know. And
sorry, I'm also stuck on the fact that you lived, what you described, like the construction worker's office.
Yeah.
That's like what my classrooms were in high school.
Oh, did you have a school that was getting renovated?
No, they just, it was older and they just expanded it by adding those portables with a ramp.
I never, you go, hey guys, what if we did building?
They're like, no.
What if, instead of trailer, what if we did wall roof?
No.
Huh?
No.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
Yeah. They just do it and they dress it up with the ADA ramp.
Yeah, but it's because they're building another building, right?
No, they never ended up building. They just kept that.
What I think was you guys were cattle for like a tax write-off.
Definitely.
They go more children, more money.
Yeah.
So they go put a trailer over here and make that a 6th grade classroom.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my high school was like, it was a decent amount of kids. I think it was like 12 or 1,300 kids.
In your high school, 12 or 13? Yeah, is that big?
It's kind of big, 300 people per class.
Did you go to public school?
Yeah.
Where did you grow up? Wait, so no one knows where you're from?
Not really.
How are you? Do people not ask? Do people not?
People do ask.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you in the Witness Protection Agency?
I could be.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm kind of believing this now.
Yeah.
And you kind of have the Pete Davidson, where like, you were cursed as a kid and now you get a new chance at life and things are going well.
Yeah, more or less.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. The Spider-Man effect.
Yes.
Your uncle had to die so that you could kind of become this really well-known figure.
Well-known photographer who doubles as a gay man in a suit.
You kind of look gay.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of look gay.
Oh, yeah.
In the nicest way, I mean. Like, you're very well put together.
Yeah, gay men love me.
Yeah, because you have TikTok hair.
Yeah. I remember this joke.
I said that to you?
Yes.
Oh, I've been saying that a lot.
Oh, I thought you were calling that back.
No, what's a TikTok? Oh, no. Just when you have the sides short and then the front and the back. I also have no idea how old you are.
I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem with my... You know what I've realized on stage is when I do drop-ins for a while, I've stopped doing this, but I loved dropping in and being like, oh, thank God you're all here. Now I can tell you about how I was molested. And
I love when someone drops into my show.
Yeah.
It starts with the molestation.
And I would always, for a while, I was doing this thinking like, come on, guys, it's me. I'm fucking around.
Yeah.
And I have realized that the majority of people have your reaction to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, how, like, you look young enough that it could have just happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you?
Wait, it's not the young part. Like, you could be 42 and I'd be like, oof, I bet that molestation 30 years ago was pretty rough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it varies by who's looking at me. Some people think I'm their age. Some people think I'm 22. Some people think I'm, older.
Yeah.
People don't know what I am.
Yeah.
They just like zone out while I'm talking, and then I'll have a guy heckle me and he'll go, "Hey man, are you Mexican?"
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But again, do you think the issue with the molestation bit is that they don't know how old you are?
No. I think the issue is that that's a really abrasive thing to say when you don't know each other.
Yeah, I go, maybe we get that at like minute 16 of your set.
Yeah. But I just sometimes I like doing that at the top because I will enjoy that graining like oof.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun. And then do you always recover?
I've had sets where I have not.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But now
I have a bit about freezing babies in a good way instead of freezing eggs, freezing babies.
Yeah.
And I really like the bit and it's great and very well written. Kudos to me. But when I first started working on it, I did a weekend in Boca Raton, Florida.
Oh, I'm sure they liked that.
I bombed all weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I think at the very end, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have started off with freezing babies with very religious, with a very religious crowd, pretty much, or conservative crowd.
Yeah. No, I've come around to that, so I don't do that anymore. But yeah, I think I'm realizing that as I get further into stand-up, like these deeper pockets of stand-up, that that process of getting people to know me, like figuring that out, has been very challenging.
You're like, no, but come on, man, I want to do molestation up the top. It's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, it was for a while.
Yeah, and then, but you're like, oh, shit, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe, we have to do, I don't know, dog versus cat first.
Yeah.
Do that bit, and then get them to like you, and then you do it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm single now, and I hate that I'm like doing dating jokes because it's like, oh, I don't want to be the girl that comes up there and talks about the dating stuff.
Well, how long were you locked in?
4.5 years.
Was it bitter? The end?
No, not bitter at all. I just left Georgia and flew away.
Yeah.
To LA and wanted to chase my dreams and not live in the suburbs of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, okay, it wasn't. Okay, yeah, he started to go through my phone and then drove off with my phone, and I jumped on the side of the Tahoe and we drove down the street and the cops were called. So yeah, there wasn't like, there was like, there was some road bumps, some street bumps. I wouldn't say it was all amicable.
Do you talk about that? I
love how I was like, no, super friendly. Everything was good.
Why don't you talk about that?
I have been doing a bit about it. It is a little bit, that's the thing. It's hard. I can't do that bit at the top because people are like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I have to you
need about 20 minutes.
I know. And I talk about the frustrating thing that the thing is like, I really want to talk about, I didn't cheat, but I was like texting with somebody as I was trying to figure out how to end this relationship, but I was just being about it. And then like finding out that I was so over it and like had found somebody and was like, God, I wish I could date. So he's going through my phone and like I texted this guy and I was just like, we can't hook up. But last night I wish you would have laid one on me. And that's how I flirt, which is the most embarrassing part. I wish I would have laid one on me.
You talk about that?
I know, but it's really hard. Infidelity or like the thought of it is very hard to sell on stage.
Yeah.
Because my thing is I want to be like, what I'm talking about, all of you know. All of you know, all of you experience.
Yep.
You just don't want to admit it.
Right.
And I'm like, but I'll say it.
Yeah.
I'll say it for you.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think it comes from like, I think it would be easier for a Ron White.
Sure.
But it's hard to hear it from me.
Yeah.
Just a little Southern cupcake.
Yeah. And then probably, folks in the room going, typical woman.
Yes. Yeah.
Always looking for the next thing.
Yeah. And I go, damn right. So be the next thing or get out of my way. Yeah. That's been a really fun thing to work on, but it's very hard to sell.
Yeah.
It's kind of like cheating and then like molestation.
Yeah. Yeah. So we should be doing a 2-man show because we like graining topics at the top of the 10 minutes.
I really do.
Yeah.
I'm like, we started eating people.
Yeah.
Molestation.
Yeah.
Molestation.
Yeah.
That's 7 syllables. Infidelity. And then we end it on like salad bar.
Yeah. I feel like when you do like a lot of graining ideas, then the salad bar stuff at the end is fun now.
Yeah.
Because you held up a photo of like a I don't know, like a dead dog, and you're like, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
For 30 minutes, and they're like, yeah, and you're like,
yeah, and then you go,
I saw the funniest thing. There was a bug in my food.
And then my girlfriend's just bitching about it. Girlfriend's a bitch. Everyone's like, yeah. Now we get him.
Yeah.
You know what? You are a good guy. I knew you'd come around. Them damn bitches be bitching.
It's so funny you slapped your knee and stomped your foot because I kept giving everyone in Brookfield that shit. Yeah, I was like, fellas, stop slapping the knee. Actually laugh out loud for once.
And they're like, I don't know how to express myself without hurting myself a little bit. Yes. This is good for me. I gotta feel it, like my daddy did.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But dude, this is great that you live out here because I wanted to get you on the show, but I just thought you were just out there, driving a fucking a diesel 1980s Ford, shooting a pistol in the sky.
And I did for years.
Yeah.
And I said, we got to see the other side.
Yeah.
We got to come out to the west side.
Got to.
And figure it out. And I really like the West Coast a lot more.
Yeah.
I grew up in the South my whole life, and I just feel there's a lot of like Like, I just don't want to be. There's a lot of pressure to be a good host on the East Side.
Yeah.
That I am glad that that's not an expectation here on the West Side.
Oh no.
Like no matter, like how impressive of a career you have or whatever else, like you better have a damn dinner party with some homemade hors d'oeuvres or something on the East Side, no matter what. Like even look at like the Southern, like it's like Dolly Parton, you know, and like. I don't know. And she's such a good host. She built a whole theme park for her friends and family, and it just feels like now it's nice that I don't have to be well presenting out here on the West Side.
Oh no, I mean especially like depending where you're at in LA. If it's you and a bunch of other transplants.
Yeah, it's okay to have roommates well into your 30s, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to have like that's what I mean by the West Side is like my friends growing up in South Carolina, they could be poor as hell, they could be in debt, but they're like, we got to take out a loan because our friends are coming over and we've got to get new monogram towels.
Yeah.
I cannot have them seeing my bathroom without monogram towels. And I feel like here it's like, it's so cool to be minimalist and to have 14 roommates.
Yeah.
And to be in a studio apartment and nobody blinks an eye. And like here when you go to the valet, you can pull up in your Hyundai right behind a Rolls Royce and the valet doesn't blink an eye.
No.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything goes.
Yes. And I feel you in I think that's also an interesting thing about not really the Midwest, but some of the Midwest. But yeah, that's sort of like performative nicety stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like people always say out here it's fake. I'm like, no, you don't understand. But you can also like go to a nice restaurant here in pajamas and people are like, fashion, you know? Oh my God, look at her loose slacks. They don't have Southern accents. It's the only accent I can do. But
no, you can roll up in pajamas and you're like, are y'all doing walk-ups right now? Like, yes, we are.
Yeah.
Is your party here? No, they'll be here in a second.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, we got you down.
Yeah.
5 minutes. I was at a restaurant, RVR, with Jared Goldstein last night. I think we were in Venice, and I was talking to him, and a man walked by, and I looked at him, and he immediately coughed in my face, but he had this like teal and orange kind of leather jacket on, and he had this funky outfit on, and I was like, I'm not mad because I think that might have been Spike Lee.
Yeah.
And you don't know. And he ended up being a homeless man that they did have to kick out. But it's LA, so you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. So it's like, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Anybody can dress anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't, definitely, depending where you go, it is funny how parts of America, like they have their uniform. Like even out here, I feel like it's a bit of a uniform, like looking crazy.
What in the what do you freaking mean, man?
I just
Sorry,
realized.
I pull out a rubber chicken out of my What do you mean? Sorry, I got to feed my chicken really quick.
Yeah, Catherine's actually lying about writing all her jokes. She actually just does like a weird ode to Gallagher on stage. That's all she does. She's just smashing fruit and.
I have a shrine of him in my car right now. No, I agree. I think it's see, this is why I fit in, because anything goes, and and I never fit in that much in the South because I couldn't like I also couldn't be a secondary player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't be second fiddle to anyone. That's a hard pill to swallow down.
Well, I worked all week and it's 5 on Friday, so I went down to the bar with the boys, and you go ahead and handle the 4 kids.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear no shit about it.
Yeah, and you go, well, honey, I paid for that new purse you got at TJ Maxx, so you should be grateful for it.
Did you watch any of those? Are you on TikTok much?
Yes.
Yes and no?
Yeah, I have my stints.
Did you pick up on the one where all the young guys were putting on the old man filter, mocking blue collar workers?
No.
I think you would shit your pants laughing at that. There's this one guy, he kills me with this voice. It's just like them mocking like blue collar Southern guys, like coming home to their wives, like looking at like a meal and being like, TV dinner.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You gonna make me punch you over this table?
Yeah.
You ain't cook me no food.
I've had lamb chop 3 times this week. You think I want lamb chop again after I've been at the factory? I've been at the Toyota factory all damn day. We've been...
Yeah, dude.
My boss is riding up my ass.
Yeah, we'll dig up a few for the fucking... Although, you know what's crazy is there's this whole thing about how TikTok is eliminating accents. Because now all the young guys say like lil bro and on God and that's cap and bruh, and they learn all that from TikTok.
And we're not allowed to do that anymore?
No, I'm just saying like it's like a weird thing that's happening from the internet where like people like Flynn, Alec, he's talking about how, I think he and I were talking about this, but like kids in Boston don't have the Boston accent because they're learning how to talk from TikTok.
Oh, not from their dads.
Yeah, so their dad is like, hey, put the fucking N in the Kai, and they're like, bro's tripping.
Does that kill the dads?
I think it's just a weird thing in America where it's starting to like, accents are kind of starting to get fucked with.
Like they always said that there was going to be an ambiguous race. Mm-hmm. You ever seen that picture on like the Times cover of that ambiguous person?
Yeah, the National Geographic.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah. But it starts with race from TikTok. Mm-hmm. I mean, it starts with accents from TikTok. That's so funny.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that, but I will say I think I'm a prime example of it. Like I don't really have an accent, but I think it's because I was like the first of my generation to grow up in the city. Oh,
to leave. Yeah. From where you were at. But so you grew up on a farm?
No. I grew up is that it? Is that the ambiguous? No.
It's the third image over.
Yeah, she kind of looks like a
one more. It's that lady on the left. That was like the famous one.
That's it. And I always thought it was so weird because her eyes are like golden. Mm-hmm. That's not gonna happen.
Colonized.
The eyes are gonna be brown.
Because it's the blue and the brown.
Yeah, the blue and the brown. The brown always takes over, right? It's a stronger gene.
It depends.
Well, I've seen a few experiments.
Yeah. What color are your eyes?
Well, mine are beautiful and perfect, and
for everyone listening, in case you were wondering,
they do have a bit of the gold and the blue and the green in them. If you look really close, they kind of have a mix of all of it. Are yours like that? Sort
of, yeah. Mine skew more yellow, but if you look close, there's like splotches of different shit in there.
Yeah, but I'm all white. It was very disappointing.
Yeah.
When I got my 23andMe back, I was like, no.
Oh, so those just happened.
Yeah, I think. Eyes. Yeah, I can't. I think one of my relatives, because I'm so white. I mean, and the most boring whites: French, German, Irish, English, like the most boring whites. But I don't know. So I should have like blue eyes. But I think somebody did a deal with the devil at one point, and I got a little dash of yellow.
Yeah.
In there. Yeah, it was very disappointing.
They sacrificed
a little bit Scandinavian, but that's it.
Ah. Maybe no, because if you were full, then it'd be piercing blue.
Is that what Scandinavian is?
Yeah, Swedish, Danish.
Yeah,
up there.
Did you ever watch Out Cold, the movie?
I don't think so. Can you pull up Out Cold? Let me see it.
I always think of, dude. This was like. Do you remember this? It wasn't a cult classic like I thought it was when we were watching it growing up because I was so obsessed with it. It has Zach Galifianakis in it. I did not
watch this.
What's his face? The weatherman from what is Anchorman? And dude, there's like a Olga. There's like a Scandinavian like gorgeous woman in there, and she always wears belly shirts, and she like draws her little finger around her belly button. I'm Olga.
Yeah.
And whenever I think about Scandinavian, I think about her. Dude, it was such like a 90s. Like, I don't know. It was so good. It was perfect. Zach Galifianakis gets his penis stuck in the jet at the hot tub.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to save a ski resort.
Yeah.
And I'm just and like most of the soundtrack is Eve 6. Remember Eve 6?
I wasn't a huge Eve 6er. I'm sorry.
What Where did you grow up? You grew up in a bunker, hiding from the feds.
I was engineered. I'm a living Fed jacket. I'm a living psyop.
God, you know what? I do feel like you have like a great...
Like your uncle that lived off the land and was like, the technocracy is going to take over. They're going to start engineering. What they're going to do is they're almost going to look Mexican, but they won't be. You're not even going to know what they are.
Yeah, and they won't tell you what they are.
And they're going to be in everything. And they're going to be the everything people.
And they'll be all over your screens.
Yeah.
The little screens and the big screens.
Yeah. I'm what your uncle was afraid of was going to happen to American society.
Which is fine. And I want you to be around, and that's okay. But if you're going to infiltrate our society, at least watch Out Cold. See Out Cold. See Mean Girls.
Dude, we are finally figuring out how to get our son to sleep early. So once we do that, I'm going to catch up on all kinds of movies.
It's bad, and it's a bad movie. It's a bad movie, but it's important for you to see it.
Yeah.
And I wish we had more of these slapstick bad movies.
I feel that.
I
feel that.
We don't have any more we don't have any more dicks and jets.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. It's rare to find something silly.
Yeah, it always has to have this meaning now. And you're like, let's go back to Big Daddy. Let's go back to Billy Madison. Let's put a 30-year-old in kindergarten again.
My understanding is it's just for stupid awards. All the networks, they want the prestige, so they do something like supposedly really deep and thought-provoking. And you can't win awards on this stuff anymore.
I don't care. It's so good. Bridesmaid, she took a shit in the street, and I was like, God.
Need this.
This was good. This was good for my soul. I've taken a shit in the street before.
Have you?
I get it. Yeah. IBS. Yeah.
I've taken a mean dump on the street.
Yeah, everybody has. I feel like, who we should be interviewing? The guy that works at the gas station in the middle of nowhere where there's not another gas station 20 miles on either side.
Yeah.
Because that man has seen people walk in with shit down their pants. Probably hourly.
I think that is it sounds so stupid, but if you have a job where you travel like physically on the road, I think that is one of the most incredible experiences you can have in life. The only other way to accomplish that is working at that gas station.
Well, as far as seeing adults with shit down their pants?
Shit down their pants, shit in their backpack, shit in their pockets, on their hands.
Why in their backpack?
They could be saving it.
Oh.
Could be storing it for later.
Okay. I'm
saying like a person who works at a gas station like that, they see everything.
Yeah. And you look at I was living in Atlanta, and I had like a bridal shower or something in Columbia, South Carolina, where I went to college. So I was driving back, and so I had like this floral dress on, and I was trying to make it back because I was like hosting at the Punchline.
Yeah.
And I just hit a stretch.
Yep.
And the espresso martinis hit me. And I just remember like walking into this rural, like probably Love's. And it was just like this pink, it was kind of like a Geishan flower, like satin jumpsuit. And I remember just like...
You're dressed like a fucking assassin from Ocean's 11.
No, it gets so bad. I look at him, he looks at me, and you know the walk.
Oh yeah.
You know the walk.
Oh yeah, the waddle.
So I walk into the bathroom, and I'm like, it was the point of no return. It had already happened.
Yeah.
I couldn't put it back on.
Yeah.
I was like, this is soiled.
Did you buy a Love's outfit?
I walked out in my disgusting underwear and bra, and I looked him in the eyes.
No shot.
No, I took it off because it was a one piece. I took it off. I cleaned my underwear as much. This is all I could do. I know this is disgusting. I don't care. I cleaned it up as much as possible, and then
they have showers at Love's.
And then it wasn't a Love's. It was There was no shower besides if the Lord decided to rain.
Okay.
On that day. And then I walked out in my nude bra and my underwear with just clearly toilet paper coming out of either end, and like just my like romper wadded on the side, and we just made eye contact. And then I walked out. It was like ding ding ding, you know, the bell when you walk out. And I got back in my car and I drove off. I think I took my underwear off as soon as I got out of the place, and I took off. And I'm sure that's not the first time that
working at like a Almost Loves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he probably saw you go out there with shit all over your thighs, and he just went,
another one. These girls won't take shits in their friends' houses before they leave the bridal shower.
Yeah.
And this is what happened.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for this.
Oh, no.
It's so gross.
No one listening now has any qualms about this.
Again, this is something that people all go through and most people just won't admit.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, I've told the story before. I got so much judgment. I never told it again, but, you know, now I feel like I have someone who'll back me on this.
Yeah.
So this was during tour. This is like one of my first long tours. I think we're on the road for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Eating like eating horrendous, dude. And I've never put that much like bad stuff in my body for that many days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And
you start justifying what's healthy.
Yeah.
Fries or potatoes.
Yeah. And I was feeling lazy and I had to squeeze one out, little fart.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking packeted in my underwear.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know until I dropped trowel, because it wasn't enough. You know, it was just like I was laying in bed, I think. I can't remember what I was doing.
Okay.
And here's what I do know. We had, because we were on a bus, so we had what they call like a day room. So we each had a hotel room that we just had for the day.
Okay.
I was just laid up in the hotel room eating candy and other stuff. And I was going to take a shower, and right before the shower, I dropped trowel, and I'm like, oh, I packeted in my underwear, and I've just been laying in that.
But you were alone.
Yeah, I was alone. Yeah, thankfully. And I just balled it up. I just threw it in the trash. And people were like, I was getting comments going, you shit yourself?
Wait, what?
I went, yes.
That's the best case scenario. If that happened to me, and it has, do you know how I would literally see that and be like, what a blessing. I was by myself the entire time.
Yes.
I wasn't in a Target. I wasn't in the middle of the meeting of my lifetime.
Yes.
Like, I hear that and I go, you're so blessed.
I know.
It could have been so much worse.
I know.
Because we've all been in horrible, horrible situations.
I know, dude. And I got so much judgment for it the first time I told the story. It was just like, you shit yourself? Oh, sorry. We have to go to the bonus segment now.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can always get the bonus at teamgstudios.tv. If not, we'll see you on the next one. Quick plug, go see Katherine on the road. Yeah. She's always getting up around LA.
Yeah. Hey, can I plug my my podcast coming out? Just to have you on it. Shane Torres, do you know him? He's a New York comic.
Yes.
We have a podcast coming out called Coastal Idiots. And it's only on YouTube because it's a lot of visual stuff. It's kind of more of a variety show.
Great.
We have a bunch of sketches in it, and every episode is different, and we go do crazy shit.
I would love to be a part.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, go check that out with Shane Torres. Shout out Shane. We've worked together once, but we don't like know each other.
Okay, he's so fun. He's you remember the Care Bear with the cloud, grouchy Care Bear? Yeah, that's Shane. And remember the Care Bear with meth on his stomach? That's me. Yeah.
So if you go see Katherine at a show, bring her a cool bag of ice. She likes that.
Please.
Yeah. Anything you can crush up and smoke.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys in the bonus. This week on the bonus.
Have your dreams not come true?
As a petite male, I also have my guy friends that make sure I'm safe. Hey, boy.
Yes.
You had enough? I mean, I came to the show. I thought she was going to cook.
Yeah. I thought this was Rachel Ray.
Watch the full episode by signing up for a membership at tmgstudios.tv.